Who are for you the peculiar children of today? I mean, compared to the past.
Well, I know they're out there, you know. I meet them, you know, you meet them all the time. I mean, I worked with a lot of them on this, you know. And it's so great. I mean, because, you know, people take the word peculiar and it sounds slightly negative, when in fact, to me, it's a positive. And you know what, if I see somebody and I think is peculiar, I usually think that's a really, you know, compliment and a real positive sign. So, you know, you still meet them every day some way. Mm-hmm. My own children are peculiar, definitely.
This story struck some chords, like it's a community of people that stands for themselves all together and to fight against some dangers. Do you feel that, I mean, today there's a lot of these people, community people that try to fight for their own rights and be alive?
Well, yeah, it's funny because it's interesting because, like, most of the peculiar people I meet are quite individual. You know, it's quite a solitary place. Like, I remember being in school, art class, I was quite a loner, and then all these other kind of peculiar kids were loners, and then we were all put into one like art class, and we were all like quiet. We didn't hang out, but there was a sense of community that I remember very deeply. And so it's like when you get a bunch of loners in one room together, it can be quite awkward, but there is that sense of connection that's important. And I think, yeah, so I do think there's lots of people that feel similarly and they sort of drawn to each other, and that's what creates these kind of little bubbles or little groups.
Do you think that technology actually helps people to with the creativity or kill it? I mean,
well, I think it's both. I mean, you know, if you look at percent, I mean, you know, I'm personally kind of afraid of technology, but I know there's lots of creative things you can do on it. You know, you can draw, you can create, you can turn your face and make it into animals or aliens or whatever. You know, it's great. Or play games, or you can. But then you can also use it to write horrible comments about people without actually having to interface with them. So, you know, it's like any technology. It's good and really bad at the same time, and it's just how you use it. So it's interesting to see, you know, which one, if one sort of percentage-wise takes over. But, you know, there's positives and negatives to it.
You work with a nice group of children from different ages. Is it easier for you to get in touch with them rather than adult actors?
No, not really. I mean, kids are like adults. I mean, I tried to pick ones that were, you know, and I was very lucky to get good children, you know. I mean, because some kids, like adults, are good and some are bad. But I tried very hard in the casting process to get a sense that they were good people, and you know, and they ended up bonding. Like in the film, we were shooting something on the set, and off the set I saw all the kids together, and they became like a weird family. You know, the older kids were helping the younger kids, and that made it feel very special. It felt like they were really connecting.
You chose us, I mean, this beautiful house, and I was talking to the actors, and they all felt very, very comfortable on a proper location.
Yes.
It was because the film required it, or because with this group of people you wanted?
Yes, it was because, especially with some of the kids who had never done any acting before, it was important to be in an environment where, you know, you could feel it, be in it, live in it. You know what I mean? That helped. I think the ones that hadn't performed be able to just feel the environment more. And so even with this special effects and everything, we tried to do as much real so that and all the kids wanted to do their own stunts. You know, they wanted to float, fly, hit, go to the water. You know, they all were. That was the most exciting thing to them. You know, is to do their own stunts and all. So, you know, but again, it helps give it a sense of reality, which I think for this particular film was helpful.